It's too expensive.
Welcome to the Yeshiva Daf sponsor Lunish Bazan Shalom Now Basitzchok. We're holding in Shavuos Daf Tezvov. We're going to be starting in the two dots at the bottom of the Yudaldim base. Says in Yechezkel Nichas LaAzor v'chulei. So we said over here the idea that the Musifim, anybody goes to the Azara, it's chayav, or anything that was added to the Azara. How do you add to the Azara? You go, there's a way to do it with a melech and a navi, etc. So when we know immediately, only Hashim b'achid o makol kechol asher ani mareh oischo es tavnis hamishkon ves tavnis kol kilov. Shvot tells Moshe Rabbeinu, the way I showed you, daf tezvov dav v'chen ta'asu l'doros. That's what you'll do for the next generations. All the generations will do that way. Rashi says, and the time Moshe was a melech, he was a melech because Moshe Rabbeinu was the melech. V'novi, Moshe Rabbeinu is the novi. Ve'achiv, Aaron HaKohen is Kohen Gadol. Ve'urim V'tumim, the Shivas Kelim is all there. So the same way it was all there, so that's why it was, that says also lost it. And here is the question, the Mepharshim discussed a little bit, that who said it was required? Who said it was required to have it? We didn't find Aaron HaKohen was supposed to be there when they built the Mishkan. So what does Rashi says? They speak about his other Rishonim HaKohenim. This is what to talk about. Rashi learns that whoever was in the Mishkan, we do over here as well. Mesiv Ravo says, Ravo, Kol HaKelim Shasa Moshe, Meshichaso Mekadashtom, the Kelim, the vessels, Mesiv Yidush, you have to put oil to make it Kaddish. Afterwards, how you do Chinuch? By just, you have a clear basic English, but the fact that you use it, that gives it the Kedusha. Why? Name of Yechezkel Doiros. Why don't you say Yechezkel Doiros? You're going to put oil in it and make it Kaddish. It says Oysam. What's Oysam coming to add you? Oysam Mishicho v'lo Doris. Mishicho, you don't use the oil method for the Doris. Maybe tell me, okay, in the time when Shabbeinu you did Mishicho became Kaddish. But in the time, later you have to do both. Mishicho and also Avodah. Or either or, sorry, right? That's either or. Another pasuk says shius. You have to serve it. So it says you have to do shius. We have to say oiso to tell you there's no Mashiach. The time when you put oil and that's it. The dois Mashiach u be'avodah. You need both. That cost of Chentasu. So the special din, the gabe, the oil, by the kalim, you don't do the same way. But the mishkan, the migdosh, you do. There we don't have a mute. That's the Chentasu. Kedusha Gemara says, we said in the Mishnah that they go around in order to increase.
By the place of migdosh, the kalim just by using them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now, right, so you'll be a problem. Maybe we won't have the same Kedusha. Maybe it won't be Kaddish. You'll say, maybe I have no choice. I have no choice. So maybe I'll do without Kedusha. But who says against the Kedusha without it? Says more Shtei Toidos. Shtei Toidos means that when you go around and you build the Bisabing, to add to the Bisabing or to Yerushalayim, you go to Yerushalayim with you have to use Shtei Toidos. We'll see them more with stuff Yerushalayim. You have to have two Toidos. What is Shtei Toidos? First of all, when you read the Mishnah, Masha means two korbanos toidah, two animals. Says the Gemara, Tano Shtei Toidos Shomu B'Lachmon V'Loi B'B'Sar. Not talking about the animals. We're talking about the breads. You know that the toidah comes with 40 breads, 30 matzah, 10 chametz. We'll see in a moment how you divide it. So that's what it needs to be in the Beis Hamikdash. And when you go around, you have to bring the breads of the toidah. So when we know him, how do you know that? So this is what Nehemiah said that he did in order to consecrate, in order to be Kaddish Yerushalayim when they did Beis Hamikdash. And tomorrow's daf and Shabbos daf, we're going to learn a little bit more about if Kedusha was Shei Kitchel Shaisuk, Kitchel Sidlov, what do they do in time Nehemiah? Obviously, everybody's invited to the Shabbos daf at 5:50 p.m. But it says like this. It says that he went around with shtei toidos gdoilos, 2 big toidos. What does it mean 2 big toidos? What does it mean big? My gdoilos. Ilami min godol, meaning it was a big animal. Mamish, name a part. What does it mean? What does that mean godol? 2 cows or 2 bulls. So just say 2 bulls. El gdoilos b'mino. I'm talking about that it was a bigger animal. Like it wasn't a bull. It was the biggest sheep you could find. The biggest animal. So they want to make a chashivus k'mishmaya. Because Baruch doesn't care about the size of the animal. More brings an example. As the Rishay pointed out, it's not an exact example, just a conceptual example. When we bring oils be'imo, it says it's a reyach nechoyach la'Hashem. Delicious smell to Kodesh Baruch. Nachasuach l'fol amayt v'asan na'atz v'nasar v'tzoyin. Boilers oif ish reyach nechoyach. So by oif it's the same thing. Be'mincho ish reyach nechoyach. And even mincha, even the smallest korban. Melamed shechad amarbe ve'echad amamit bilvad shechamas libor lovish v'shamayim. Kodesh doesn't care the size. Just do it l'shma, do it l'shiv shamayim. For Kodesh Baruch. Kodesh needs a big animal. So what is the Rebbe saying? I went 2 big animals. Hello gdoilo shebetoido. My new chometz. What it means doilos doesn't mean the size. It means which type. I'm trying to tell you, says the Rebbe, what did I use to go around? So it goes like this. But what I'm going to explain, we're going to see it in a side in a moment, just to know. There is 2 measurements that you bring for korban toido. It's called shtei ephos. 1 ephah you use to make 30 matzahs. The other ephah you use to do 10 chometz. So it comes out that each bread chometz is 3 times the size of the matzah. Because from the same amount, you make 30 matzah, and then the other one, the same amount, you make 10 chometz. So every bread chometz is the size of 3 times matzah. So it's the bigger ones. So it says Nehemiah, you know what we went around the chayma? With the breads of chometz. That's what the Gemara says. Now it says in the Mishnah, the way you did toido, the bread of toido, use 5 seyo Yerushalmi. Shem shisha midbariyos. There are 6 of midbari, because the 6 of the midbar should be 5 of Yerushalmi. It's a measure because they reduced the size. They increased the size. Shehem shtei ephos. V'ha'ephah shor same. Because we look at the midbar, there's 6 seyo. How much is a ephah? 3 seyo. So how much is 6 seyo? 2 ephahs. A stream isarim. That is equal to, every ephah is equal to isarim. So it is equal to 10 isarim. So if I have 10, every ephah, isarim is a 10th of an ephah. So if I have an ephah, I have 10 isarins. If I have 2 ephahs, I have 20 isarins. Asara v'isroina is the chometz. For asara the matzah, you divide it, half the chometz, half the matzah. Or in matzah shloisha minim. By matzah you have 3 types of matzahs: chalos, rikikin, v'revucha. So that's why the chometz is bigger. So that was the more said, and that's what it means. The toitus is 2. You go around with the chometzik breads. The azara is miskadesh with the leftovers with shiur mincha. Meaning, when you want to go around Yerushalayim to make Yerushalayim bigger, you take the toida. You want to go around Bisamigdash or Bisamigdash bigger, you take the mincha. Why? My time, Yerushalayim. My Yerushalayim dovar ne'echel bo mekacho. Yerushalayim, what makes a kodesh? Well, you have to eat in Yerushalayim. What do you have to eat in Yerushalayim? Chalos of toida. Where do you eat chalos toida? In all Yerushalayim. Af azara dovar ne'echel bo mekacho. What do you eat in the azara? Menachas. So what do you mean? Atu lachme toida ba'azara milo misachle. I can eat toida in the azara. You said whatever is eaten there, you can eat the toida in the azara too. The korban toida you can eat Yerushalayim. If you take it out of Yerushalayim, what happens to it? because possible. So it has to be also the azar has to be similar, something which is designated to be eaten by the azara, and if you do it after, what happens? It becomes puzzle. Says the Gemara, and chometz avkar chometz. If so you'll say, if you're learning over each other, you say it has to be something which is designated to that area. So the same way, by Torah, you take the chometz and just learn from the chemio. So here the mincha should be chometz by the mincha that you do for the azaras. So that can be. We know all the menachas are not chometz. Everything in the Beis Hamikdash is matzah except two exceptions. One is toida, one we'll see in a moment. But in general, it's all matzah. So it can't be chometz. Something what after this one base, maybe you're not going to make the mincha chometz. The mincha now will be matzah. You'll take the kmitza. Kmitza is you take the kohen takes 3 fingers out of the mincha and puts it on his mizbech. The leftovers are called shirayim. The shirayim you can make chametz. Says the one umikash bu bechtiv lo ysof chametz chelkom. The pasuk says lo ysof chametz chelkom l'sati. So you dash as one pasuk. Lo ysof chametz chelkom. V'hamar shlokish afilu chelkom lo ysof chametz. Even the leftovers can be chametz. So it has to be matzah. So the Gemara loi. Oh, you know what you should do? You want to go and increase the size of a Beis Hamikdash? Nazar? I'll tell you what you should do. You know there is a bread which is chametz. What is it? Shavuos. Shtei alechem b'Shavuos. It's chametz. Let's use the shtei alechem b'Shavuos to be magdish Nazar. So the Gemara when exactly are you going to build the addition to the Beis Hamikdash? We'll do Erev Shavuos. Make it Kodesh the day before. When the Kachi, it's not Kodesh. The 2 breads become Kodesh only once you shecht the animals of Shavuos. Maybe you will build it yesterday, and Shavuos will make it Kodesh. But in a Kiddush Shasabinyan. Why not? You have to do Kiddush when you build it. Let's build Beis Hamikdash Yom Tov. And we'll do Kodesh Yom Tov. And be Hamikdash Doiche Yom Tov. Can't be. Because you can't do Beis Hamikdash Yom Tov. So I can't use Shavuos. Says the Gemara, maybe we should do is, we will wait for afterwards, after Yom Tov, and we'll build it and we'll use the lechem of Shavuos. If still Belino. Shavuos went overnight, it's possible. Maybe we'll build the Erev Yom Tov. The Shari Porto, we'll leave the last bit. As the day comes in, you'll finish Beis Hamikdash right away, you'll do the Kiddush. And be Beis Hamikdash b'layla. You can't build Beis Hamikdash at night. So the Gemara is trying to say, me make use Shavuos breads to be Kadosh Hazos. It was not possible because you can't build Beis Hamikdash Yom Tov. As Tosfos says, the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah says that why do we say that you need to have that you're not allowed to eat Chodesh until the end of Tetzayim? So the Gemara goes through a chesh. The Gemara says because maybe Beis Hamikdash will be built the day before Hakrava Soimer. What is the day of Hakrava Soimer? When do you makir the Omer? What day you makir the Omer? Tetzai Nisan. So the Gemara says that the day before you build Beis Hamikdash, what day is that? Tesov Nisan. But we just said you can't build Beis Hamikdash on Yom Tov. So how can it be? The Gemara says, Meir you bought a Beis Hamikdash the day before. It's going to be on Yom Tov. That's a question that Tosfos brings over here. It's a question of Rashi as well. Rashi, not Rashi here, Rashi there. Rosh Hashanah, Rashi in Sukkah. It comes Rashi and Tosfos say the Chiddush that Beis Hamikdash Shlishi won't be built by human. It'll be built by Hashem. It'll come down with Shamayim with fire. That's what they say. And this is a big problem, not so pashut. going to rise to say the Beis Mikdash Shlishi will be built by Bnei Adam. So how does that work? And the Binyanim, there's my real diskin that says that Bnei Adam will build the gates, but the Beis Mikdash itself will come with the Shamayim, and that's Pshat Teis over here. But a very fascinating, interesting thing, Beis Mikdash Shlishi will be built by the Shamayim or not. It's a steer in Rashi Masechet Sukkah as well. But says the Gemara, Ubishir, you have a song when you go around and add to Yerushalayim. What's the shir? The shir toido. The kinoiros with violins, or nivolim, or tzaltzalim, different instruments. Kolpino, we appear on every corner. Kolevim gedosh Yerushalayim, every big stone. V'oimer arimcho Hashem kidili soni. You say that song. V'shir shavgoy, v'sharim shir shanegoyim. The next shir they talk about is either called goyim or negoyim. Man doma what?
The was alive at this point.
There's no toilet, there's the bread. Right? But we sing the song of Mizbah Toidah. And we say, right? We say Mizbah Toidah, Rashi says. And then you say Shir Shav Goyim, Shir Shav Goyim, one do, and they're going to Chtiv in Negel, the Karbo Alecho, one do, according to Chtiv, Povit Tzich Oelev. It's the same Mizbah, of course, how you call it. For him, Yeshiva says, Helyoim, it says Shaka Isloinan, Ad Kato Hashem Machsi Helyom, Satam Ornecho, Choyze v'oimer mizmor l'dor bochu b'yavshol b'noi Hashem or batzor yad l'Hashem or Yeshua and Chocho b'chaser l'selo. So you different psukim that you darshan and you say in the time that you add to Yerushalayim to that song. Says the Gemara of Shua ben Levi Oimer Amar Lu La'ani Kroi Vegani. He said these psukim and then he went to sleep because he said these psukim for Shmir. Like that's what you do also Yerushalayim. Building out Yerushalayim, you want Shmir for Hashem. So you use these psukim to go to sleep. Hey, how do you do that? Says you're not allowed to use divrei Torah to get healthy. Shani says it wasn't living for. It was just to protect for the mazikin. So what is asur? Kamako. Mako it's asur to do it. Idei kamako asur to loy it's only asur. We learn in Sanhedrin, someone uses the lachash psukim for a mako, and he ought to use the name for he has no chilek l'mabal. So talk about he's spitting and saying the psukim. That's not right. That ain't no cheglo mabo. But if it's not for that, so then there's no problem. Then it's also, but it's not no cheglo mabo. Says the Gemara. Beis di malachim shtedor zacharim. So the mashmos is that the Beis Din go first, and the Toidah goes after. So, well, remember the Beis Din and Kamei Toidah Azli? Beis Din go in front of the Toidah? That's the safety they come after. Beis Din Malchim v'shtei doidos me'halchois u'Beis Din acharim. When it says, not the Toidah are after. Beis Din go, there's Toidah, Beis Din behind the Toidah. Keitzel Malchois, how do they go? The two Toidahs, which means the two people carrying the bread, they weren't parallel. So you have the two toidas and behind them based. One toida is in front of the other toida. It says in the Mishnah that the inner one you put in the mizbeach, and the outer one you burn. What is the inner one? The inner one is closer to the wall. What is the outer one? Further away from the wall. The premise is the one which is backwards. One in front, one behind. Behind them is Beis Din. So one close to the Beis Din is called premise because it's close to the Beis Din. The other one is out. The inner one is eaten, the outer one is being burnt. I said Mizbeach is eaten. You know what anyone eats? It goes like this. The outer one, and the one who's in front, as it walks, it makes the area Kaddish. Once it's Kaddish, now the inner one is not outside. But the front one, when he goes, it's going to a place where it's not Kaddish yet. So it's going in front, it's not Kaddish, and now you have to burn it because it's Yetzel. But it made this place Kaddish, the inner one is inside the Chayma. So that everyone that's stepping, as you take a step forward, you're adding now to Yerushalayim. So right now Yerushalayim is here. take a step forward to add to Yerushalayim. That first step is not Kaddish yet. So the first bread that goes out becomes possible, you have to burn it. The next bread that comes out is already in Makom Kaddish. So it makes a lot of sense that the inner one is eaten and the outer one is burnt. If they're going parallel to each other, so why you have to burn one and one you keep? If there's one behind each other, it's still not Kaddish. It's not enough to do one bread of Kedusha. You have to be both. I mean, one person holding the bread. You have to have all of them done. And even if you want to say it doesn't have to be all of them, but both Toidas are required for sure. You can do either one. You can have either the Navi or the Kohen Gadol or the Melech. It can be either or. But the Toidas have to be together. Hello, Rabbi Yochanan. So they want to have to say with Aleph. Alpi Navi necheles, alpi Navi nisrefes. It's Alpi Navi. The Navi told us to do it this way. We don't have a reason for it. Alpi Navi and then a Chanami. Savara. Maybe you could. Doesn't make sense why one is not. It's Alpi Navi. That's have to do it, and that's what we have the Kabbalah to do it. Alpi Navi. Very good.